Welcome back, everyone, to another casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today, on the right side of the map, we're going to get Green piloting the Knights Templar civilization, and on the left side of the map, we're going to see VES Myriad piloting the Ottomans. These are two very, very powerful civilizations right now. I think the balance is a little bit different at this Conqueror 3 level, the pro level. I have seen Valdi say that Ottomans is just like the best civ right now out of the most recent EGC TV tournament, and Knights Templar is really, really strong at Platinum and below. And so the win rate on Knights Templar is insanely high at Platinum and below, but the Ottomans player seems like it... But the Ottoman civilization seems like it is incredible in the hands of these Conqueror 3 players, which both of these players are today. The military school is going down for the Ottomans to produce some of those free units over time, and before this game really starts taking off, I wanted to take a second to read our comment of the day, which comes from user Charles Bruh. Thank you for casting more AoE4 games. I really enjoy your commentary. It helps me pass the time at work and gives me something to watch before bed. You've definitely earned a subscriber, and I'm looking forward to watching you grow as a caster and continue refining your craft. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, Charles. That is very, very supportive. I've been so surprised by how supportive everybody has been of this channel so far. We just started last month, and already we've got a couple videos that are doing pretty well, seemingly, and I cannot thank you all for watching enough. These videos would not get views at all if you guys weren't here to watch, obviously. And if you guys do enjoy, please consider leaving a like or even subscribing, because it does help me out with the algorithm a ton. Now, let's check and see what either player is doing. That first free spear is making their way out for the Ottomans player. Normally, I think everybody wants to put these on the Sipahi. The Sipahi are just such a strong, unique unit for the Ottomans that I think eventually all those schools will switch over to Sipahi whenever they become available. And the Knights Templar player, I think what is meta for Knights Templar right now is going 2TC. As you can see, they are just going to put those villagers on stone to start getting that second TC ready. Ottomans player just working on getting that first spear out, and it looks like this first spear is going to move over to harass a little bit. Now, this could potentially slow down the second TC from the Knights Templar player. The second TC does wonders for helping the Knights Templar get into castle and also just start mass producing units. And so let me check what... They are going with the Principality of Antioch on the age up. Melee units gain 15% damage. So if you just start massing melee units, like the brain dead play of Spears and Horsemen, those melee units are just going to do a 15% flat increase in damage, and it's going to be really, really good against enemy units. And so the Spear Horseman combo, the Horsemen will work to counter any archers, while the Spears will just be doing 15% more damage. And that combo is really, really good. I don't know if that's what these players are going to play today, but that is what I go with a lot with KT, because if you get 2 town centers down, you can get wood and food very, very quickly with that KT bonus, 20% food from the wood gathered. We're getting a twin minaret down for Myriad. That age up is coming in right now, and so this is going to give the Ottomans player some berry bushes that replenish, and it gives them a lot of food. It also acts as a mill. This one spear did get shot by the TC. They're trying to harass over here. I think that Knights Templar Green has already gotten enough stone for that second TC, so this will not delay the TC or the age up into feudal at all for Green as the Knights Templar. We can see that Myriad is still working on that age up into feudal. I am very curious what units each player is going to go with today, and we are seeing that town center drop for the Knights Templar. Getting more villagers out as quickly as possible is very, very important. And the Ottomans player is going for stone too. Now, the military schools do require stone, so I am curious what they're going to go with here. I think this might be a second TC play, because it does feel like we've moved into that 2 TC meta right now. The spear running over here to harass the second TC as it is being constructed. Will they be able to delay this second TC placement? They walk right past it, actually, and they're not going to start attacking those villagers. They are going to start burning it down now. I think that now Myriad has realized this is here. He's moving over into the villagers. Maybe that spear was just auto-pathing before. But Myriad did spot that second TC. Myriad has now reached Feudal Age as well. And I want to start looking for some military production buildings. We're not seeing anything over here on the Ottoman sides beside the military school, and nothing over here for Knights Templar player either. Interesting. So they're probably going to work on scouting each other out and figure out which units each other has. And that second TC is going down. So the Town Sitter is going down for the Ottomans player. We're going to get 2 TC players today in this matchup at this level. More spears are rolling out from this military school. Again, all of these spears are free. And this TC, I realized that the TC was on the deer. I didn't see the boar over here. So they're going to have boar production from this TC, which is so nice. These villagers can just hop in this TC right here and garrison if they get attacked. And so this boar production is going to be a lot safer. Normally the boar is farther out in the map, kind of difficult to go and protect. A couple spears just working on burning down this mining camp. Will they be able to completely burn it down? No, they are within the range of this TC from the Knights Templar, and they are going to get shot down with those arrows very effectively. Scouts making their way around the map. This one actually just stopped moving. It literally, as I said, it was making its way around the map. That's incredible. Double barracks going down for our Knights Templar player. So Knights Templar is going to be really good at doing food and wood builds, because they do get that 20% bonus from wood. 20% food bonus from wood. That second military school is now dropping for the Ottomans player. We are going to get some more military production, as well as a blacksmith to upgrade those units. The spears on this side of the map are trying to do a little bit of harassment. I don't think they've been successful at all yet, though. I don't think they've delayed anything out of the Knights Templar player, and they have not gotten a villager kill at all. And now we can see with this double barracks that Knights Templar is working on building up their own army as well now, and they're going to try to chase these units out of their land. That early religious unit from the Ottomans player coming over here to heal these spears. I don't think they want to lose those religious units to the Knights Templar spears, though. And up here we can see the second TC has been placed on stone and deer, and a scout getting caught out for green as the Knights Templar. But I think they're going to be able to run away very easily from those spears. And while we're watching this play out, I can't help but be very excited for the new Vikings and Scots DLC. I have already watched the trailer like 5 or 6 times, and I am so stoked and hyped for that new DLC. As soon as that DLC comes out, I'm going to be looking for games where players have the Scots and Viking civilizations versus each other. So hopefully we can find a Conqueror 3 game of those 2 civilizations facing each other whenever that DLC does drop. A little skirmish here in the middle. A couple axe throwers have rolled out for the Knights Templar. These are going to be very good against that cavalry unit there, chasing them out of this area. It looks like the Ottomans player does want to back out of this now that the double axe thrower has showed up. It looks like the scout is going to die. Myriad did miss that scout placement there, and now these military units are moving back to base. And while I was talking about that DLC, Myriad did get a stable and 2 archery ranges. They're going to start producing a lot more units, and we can see now that this both military schools have been switched over to the Sipahi, a very strong cavalry unit for this Ottomans player. The first Sipahi has rolled out, and they're going to go in and fight these spears. Almost dies to all of the spears, though. And on the way, running back in, they do get taken out by the axe throwers. The spears from the Ottomans player here are going to be pretty good in defending this area, though. They stayed alive a lot longer than I expected them to with that 15% damage bonus from the Knights Templar. Sipahi doing a lot of damage as well on these axe throwers, now going for the archers. And it does look like this army here for the Knights Templar is going to get cleaned up. Even though the axe throwers are heavy armor, they are still dying to all of these archers, and I think overall that this is going to be a win for the Ottomans player, and that all of these units from green are going to die, unfortunately. So the Ottomans player did come out on top of that battle, but both players lost so many units. As we can see back here, the Knights Templar is rearranging their army. They need to get a bigger mass to attack effectively. And now we can see Myriad moving their military over here as well. Let's check both of their bases. Green just now getting wheelbarrow, and Myriad has not gotten wheelbarrow. Still just 2 archery ranges, 2 military schools, and a stable over here. While our Knights Templar player has also picked up 2 archery ranges, is putting down a 3rd barracks as the army for Myriad makes their way over to Green's base. Looks like they got caught out a little bit by that scout. Now they're going to start moving in, looking for an attack. Actually, only 2 Sipahi are going to make their way over here, just looking for what is going on, scouting out this little area here. And also a massive wall is going up by Myriad. And a Sipahi does fall. They got completely and totally caught out by all of these spears. Unfortunate single unit loss there for Myriad, but not too big of a deal, I don't think. I think they'll be able to recover from that just fine. And so I want to start looking and seeing, literally I was going to say, I'm going to start looking for that castle age up, and I looked up and I saw that they were already getting the Imperial Armory. The Imperial Armory, along with another military school. The Imperial Army is going to be able to produce siege units for free. And over here on the bottom of the map, 1 Sipahi is trying to harass a few villagers. Nobody in this game has gotten a villager kill yet. But that 3rd military school is going down for the Ottomans player. They're going to be getting a lot of free Sipahi. I'm assuming they're just going to keep that on Sipahi. This one single Sipahi does get a villager kill. That's the first villager kill of the game. And that Sipahi is so low health. 1 HP and a dream. The military is now making its way out of the Knights Templar base over to the Ottomans base. And it does look like this is going to be a full-on attack. Ottomans military gathered here. I don't think they have vision on this yet, and that castle age up does come through. And they're putting it on mangonels. Mangonels are going to be great against all of these ranged units in the back, and they're just going to do a lot of area of effect damage. We're seeing now that the Knights Templar is working on burning down this stable. There's enough units amassed here. They might be able to burn down this stable pretty quickly before Myriad's military gets over here, but it looks like Myriad is not even going to try to defend this. The Ottomans player getting attacked is not moving the military over to defend, while all of these units are just going to work down on burning these buildings. Now the Ottomans player comes in to defend. The Sipahi working on attacking those archers first, while all of the Ottoman archers are working on taking down those spears. The Ottomans player does retreat after taking some heavy losses. It does look like the Knights Templar player has outnumbered the Ottomans player here a little bit, but maybe if these counters are built correctly, they will be able to take out a lot more of these units. Axe throwers with that heavy armor are just not dying quickly enough to those archers from the Ottomans player, and it does look like the Knights Templar player has overwhelmed our Ottomans player here. They have gotten 1 villager kill and cleaned up most of that military from Myriad, and it looks like they're going to try and work on burning down that 2nd building. The 2nd building does fall, and now this military just making its way back out. That was a very successful attack. 2 military production buildings were burned down, razed to the ground, and several units were lost for Myriad. It was a very successful attack, it seems like, especially in shutting down those military production buildings. But 3 military schools are still up and running. I want to check. This one is on spears. Interesting. The other 2 are on Sipahi. Myriad moving some villagers up here to collect some deer. This wall was never finished, it looks like. Is it actively being builded? So I think they killed the villager that was working on this wall, and now the scout, not scout, a spear is going to work on burning down that wall. This army is getting pretty massive for the Knights Templar, and I did miss their castle age up. Which one did they go with? And they did go with the heavy spears. Nice. So if you didn't know, you can tell by which age up they got from these flags right here. And those heavy spears are going to do wonders against these Sipahi. Do we have any heavy spears out yet? I don't see any just yet. The heavy spears are honestly one of my favorite units in the game. They feel so strong. They even feel strong against crossbows, which is crazy. It does look like this one archer is going to be very successful in killing that single spearman. And I do think a villager was going up here to finish building that wall. There they are right now, building that wall. Mangonel just rolled out of that free Mangonel factory. Incredibly powerful building there. And if we could look at the top, it looks like Myriad might be going for Imperial. Or maybe they're just saving up a bunch of resources for something else. And back at the Knights Templar player base, we can see the monastery is down. Let me check all the relics on the map. It looks like there are 4 relics are still up on the map. Did Myriad grab the 5th one? They did. So Myriad has the first relic of the game. And now we're getting a big fight over here while KT is trying to drop a fortress. Several of the heavy spears has rolled out for this army. They're going to be very, very powerful against these Sipahi. Now the Ottomans army is moving over to try and take out these villagers working on the fortress. But it looks like they're being chased out by the military from the Knights Templar. The heavy spears are so tanky that these archers are not going to be able to deal as much damage to them as normal spears. So many units are being lost here. The Mangonel doing wonders on taking down these archers in the back. The Sipahi have managed to take out all of the heavy spears, most of the heavy spears, and are now working their way into the archers in the back. And this was a pretty heavy loss for both sides, but ultimately that keep does go down for KT. Their fortress did get finished. And so now they have a really good spot to defend right here over this sacred site. And the pilgrims are a passive gold generator. And defending this sacred site is really, really great for KT because they need that passive gold generation so bad. Siege Workshop going down in a forward position. So with all of these archers and now crossbows, it would be very advantageous for KT to get some mangonels as well. We could see before that the mangonels did a lot of damage to those archers in the Knights Templar army. We're now seeing some lancers roll out alongside these Sipahi. A cavalry from the Ottomans player does look like it's looking for an opening on the KT side of the map. And now that I think Green is seeing these knights, they're actually moving, not knights, lancers, they're moving their military over to attack as well. So the lancers and the Sipahi were not able to kill these villagers to stop this wall production, but while those cavalry units are up there now, we're seeing that Green is going to make a full attack on the Knights Templar base. It looks like neither player is going for Imperial just yet. And the cavalry over here working on trying to burn through this wall. A relic being returned to base for Myriad. It looks like most of the relics have been picked up off of the map now. Nobody really fighting over them. They just silently picked all of them up. We can see here that KT has 2, while the Ottomans also has 2. So it looks like this is the 5th one. Myriad has gotten 3 out of the 5 relics. These villagers do go down. Unfortunate for Green. And that wall is now open. And as soon as that wall opens up, several heavy spears come over to help defend this area. They're now chasing these cavalry units out of the base, but it looks like Myriad was not paying attention to these cavalry units, and they are going to die to these heavy spears. These heavy spears are so tanky and work as hard counters to all of those units. The cavalry trying to make their way into the back while this massive military has gathered right outside this base for Green. The Ottomans looking for a position to attack. So many mangonels and catapults and a great bombard now as well have rolled out. They want to topple this fortress. And I think those catapults are going to be very, very effective, especially with that great bombard backing them up. These units now moving over here to work on finishing up that gate. Cavalry has made its way into the back. And it looks like they were able to get 2 or 3 villager kills there before dying to those heavy spears, and the Great Bombard now working on burning down this fortress. Several villagers now move in to try and repair, but the damage is so high from the Great Bombard mixed with the catapults. These villagers might not be able to save this fortress. Tons of upgrades rolling in for each player. While both of those armies gather outside the fortress, the few cavalry units that were left alive now have fallen to all of these heavy spears. The heavy spears are so strong. I do think this fortress is going to fall, and as we can see here, a ton of villagers have moved in from Myriad as the Ottomans The Ottomans player, I think that might have been a misclick because they're moving their villagers in front of their military, which is crazy. They're going to put down a keep over this sacred site to try to steal this sacred site from green, deny that excellent gold production from the pilgrims. Now the Ottomans player is looking to burn down this stable or siege workshop, but they will not get a chance to as green's military comes in to defend. Now we're getting a massive battle. Will the heavy spears be able to survive this mass enclave of archers and crossbows from the Ottomans player? It looks like they're having a really hard time. The heavy spears have to fall back. They are dying, and several Sipahi get into the back and took out both of the mangonels for green. Green has now lost both of their mangonels and all of their heavy spears. They only have a few crossbows left, and it looks like the last little group of heavy spears has to fully run away. Green completely and totally lost their army in this fight, and the Ottomans player has fully pushed green off of this sacred site. Now the military regrouping for the Ottomans player. They have so much siege equipment here that this could be absolutely devastating for green as the Knights Templar. They need to start reamassing their military, which is exactly what they're working on. Does look like they're going with even more heavy spears. Now, what is over here that chewed up those heavy spears? It's just all the crossbows. The crossbows and the archers just chewed up those heavy spears. I do love heavy spears, but they might need to mix in some other units to cancel out, to counter these crossbows over here. The pilgrims getting caught out. Very easy pilgrim kills here for Myriad. And now the entire military for VES Myriad is moving into green's base. The mangonels leading the charge. They found several villagers to attack. Villagers barely escape with their lives, now trying to put down an outpost to defend. The catapults being set up to take down this fortress right here, while the crossbows are working on burning down that mining camp. Several hits registering on this fortress. This fortress is in a ton of danger, and those pilgrims are also in danger. Green is doing their best to rebuild their military here in the middle of the base, right behind their TC. Will it be enough, though? So many villagers getting pulled off of wood to repair this fortress here. And if Myriad just runs their military into all of these villagers, they might be able to clean up several villager kills here. But I think right now they're just going to want to play safe and just slowly work this fortress down with the catapults. This fortress is getting repaired very, very quickly. There are so many villagers here. This might be enough to hold off the damage from those trebuchets. But we can see that Myriad has now taken both sacred sites. Both sacred sites are completely and totally locked down, and we are 9 minutes away from that sacred site victory. Several heavy spears tried to make their way up here to neutralize this sacred site, but got rudely interrupted by that keep that is already placed on that sacred site. Double walls going down for Myriad, while these heavy spears are trying to make their way back to the base. Now it looks like Green's military is making their way out to stick their head out and see if they can defend this fortress. Siege units are doing wonders here for Myriad because all of these villagers are not gathering resources, and in fact, they're spending a ton of resources to repair this fortress. So this is pretty rough for Green. Heavy spears looks like they got caught out again. There's so many crossbows here that I do think these heavy spears are gonna die. Looks like they might have gotten forgotten about those poor heavy spears. So many heavy spears and axe throwers rolling out. I'm surprised we don't see more crossbows from our KT player. Those crossbows can be upgraded in Imperial, and as I said that, it looks like the Ottomans player has hit Imperial as well. A massive battle raging here. The heavy spears are going to do wonders against these Sipahi, but they're just going to die so fast to all of the range units. And oh my god, several horsemen from KT run around the edge and start picking off these archers and crossbows. And now it looks like the Ottomans player is in full retreat as their army just got decimated. Those horsemen coming in from around back to take out all of those ranged units was absolutely devastating here for the Ottomans player. Now, KT seems to have completely swapped the positions here of this game. And now green is pushing out into the middle of the map, taking over the map control. And if they pull back here a little bit, I do think they're going to be able to burn down this keep. But maybe they're worried about keeping this military occupied and taking out as many military units as possible so it's easier to take that keep down. And now the Sipahi doing the best they can to work down as many of these KT units as possible. But they are getting absolutely destroyed by all of the axe throwers. These axe throwers have done wonders for green as the Knights Templar. Now green is deciding to retreat, and down here on the bottom of the map, are they going to start working on burning down this keep? It does look like it, but I think these 3 horsemen only are going to have a hard time. Now everybody is moving over here to burn down this keep. The villagers are garrisoning inside the keep. I think this is going to go down very, very easy, and this is going to be able to be neutralized for green. So as this keep falls, let me go and take a look. Oh, the Ottomans player is moving in now to defend this keep. Villagers hopping out to try and repair it, while several Sipahi are just running into the front line to try and deal as much damage as possible. Now they're moving into the back to take out these mangonels. How many mangonels will they be able to get? 1 mangonel does fall, but the rest of the Sipahi fall before that happens. A new group of Sipahi reinforcements has showed up, and now it looks like the Ottomans player has completely and totally outnumbered our KT player. And now Myriad has completely turned the tide of the game in his favor again by wiping out that military, and KT calls it with the GG. Myriad won as the Ottomans after wiping out that entire army.